It's Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, and you're listening to Tell It Right podcast with Jared and Mike. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Jared and Mike Tell It Right podcast with your hosts, Jared and Mike. I'm Mike. Going to cross the river is Jared.
I'm here.
What's going on in the world, man? I don't even know anymore.
Henry Ford and his bullshit 5-day week. So just kick it right off.
Yeah.
There is a serial killer running rampant in Chicago.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know a lot about this, so let's start from the top. Why do we think it's a serial killer?
Well, because all of the deaths are happening the same way, and these people are dying in the same time frames, and their bodies are coming up in the same time frames, and they're all of the same demographic. So it's like men in their mid to late 20s, early 30s that are being like abducted from downtown Chicago, like after nights of drinking, and their bodies are turning up like days later in the river. And as of right now, there's about 16 reported cases.
What?
That are all happening in like the same type of, like I said, genre of people and all this and that. And the places where they're calling them the Smiley Face Killer, because the places these bodies are turning up, there's like a smiley face like spray painted on the concrete near the river bridges and shit.
That's creepy, dude. So if I start seeing smiley faces in the city, stay the fuck away.
Yeah. So
it's territory.
They say that it's actually like a group, and they think these are like ritual killings.
Really?
So some guy who actually lives downtown, he's been keeping an eye on this shit. He said like some person in just like this average everyday like Toyota Camry, right? Like he was leaving a bar one day, and this Camry like pulled up, and some person, he couldn't really make out their face. He's like, "Hey, do you need a ride? You need a ride?" And this and that. And he's like, No, I don't need a ride." And the guy's like, "Are you sure?" Blah blah blah, like trying to get him to get in the car with him. He's like, "No," he's like, "I'm good." And I guess the guy sped off, but there was like a tail car. It was like a black like Nissan that would like follow him around. And they think like, because of the time frames that these people are dying, that they're being kept alive for a period of time, and there's rituals going on, and then they're being killed, because they'll go missing, and then like 3 or 5 or 7 days, I'm not sure how long later, they're finding the bodies.
Yeah.
But the person has not been dead for more than like a day or two when they're finding the body. So they're kept alive for at least a period of time. So yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
And there's like 16 of these that have already showed up.
16? How long has this been going on for?
Well, they think it's been going on for a little bit longer than this, because there's signs that it's been happening in other states like Ohio and Indiana, and they think like the guy's kind of moved his way this way, and he's like hunting ground or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, bodies are turning up like every other week now. And there's 16 of them. So probably like since the late last year. I don't know the time frame on that, when the first body
in
was
Chicago found. Is late last year?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like,
which makes sense too, because when it's cold out, if you're like drunk and you need to get somewhere,
it's kind of,
you're like, man, it's fucking cold. I'll take a ride from somebody and get knocked off.
Yeah, that's scary. Like, you know, when you go like hiking in like the Appalachians and stuff, there's these people that are like, they're called like trail angels, and they like fucking pop out of nowhere. Like they might have hostels. They might just drive you around if you need it, but they're there to like service you. And like, dude, just think about like how scary that is. You get picked up by someone that they think's gonna help you, and then they're this fucking smiley face killer.
Yeah.
They were probably on the Appalachian Trail. That's probably where they started, and then they moved their ways to the cities, and then now they're in Chicago. So that's what you're saying, though. That is like other states believe they've had this same killer or this same group running around at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. They call him, Smiley Face Killer.
Interesting.
It's whatever, but
now, is it like any particular spot in the city, or is it all over the city? Or
well,
is
it's
it
usually like north side where all the bars are.
yeah, like the Lincoln Park,
Yeah,
Lakeside.
probably where gay bars, things like that too. I mean, it's and only men. So,
I mean, and that's the other question. You know, who is the killer?
yeah.
Is it a
But
man or is it a woman? Or is it both?
And apparently they're giving this person like GHB. Like the killer's giving people. So GHB is like this. It's like a date rape drug type thing. I remember back in the day, kids used to like drink like a cap full of it to like get
grounder?
really fucked up.
Is it a grounder?
Yeah. It's not.
It's not a roofie. It's a grounder.
Yeah, it's not roofies. It's a.
Because you'd be on the roof if it was a roofie.
Yeah, they're rapies.
They're
GHB is rapey.
GHB.
So.
Oh, that's the first thing Google popped up. GHB drug.
Yeah.
GHB is an illegal drug that slows down some of the processes in the brain and central nervous system. And then, memory loss and other shit. It can treat narcolepsy, though.
Yeah. How does something that that slows down your brain treat narcolepsy, which is falling asleep?
I have no idea. That's all. Like that was just when you Google it. You know the Wikipedia sidebar that like pops up. That's what popped up.
Mm-hmm.
It just says they call it gamma hydroxybutyrate, and it's considered a sedative. And then it just says underneath they can treat narcolepsy. But then it's like, why do bodybuilders take GHB? Is another question. To promote production of growth hormone.
I just looked it up.
It's all kinds of purposes.
Yeah. So
we got a war back there again.
Yeah. They say the alleged total number could include a death on March 2nd of 2010. So 2010 would be so it's over a period of like 13 years now. But they're saying the group has killed a dozen people. And this is July of 2019. It was when this article was published, and they're still finding bodies in the river recently.
It's very unpleasant to hear this right now. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Smiley Face Killer in Chicago.
Do you know how many times, like, all right, so I used to live in like the Berwyn Lions area. Years ago. I used to live down the street from a place called the Harlem Lounge. I used to fucking go, I used to go there all the time, and I would just get shit-faced drunk watching blues music. And I would stumble home with a sack of White Castles. It's just like, when I think about, like, how many times I've walked home drunk, like, how many times, like, I could have been a victim of this smiley face killer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never getting drunk again.
Not in Chicago, at least.
Yeah, I'm never walking home from the bar. I'm never going to go to a bar. I'm going to be so sober that I'm always in a car. I'm going to have hand weapons like boomerangs and
what if we
get you in a lot of
what if we hunted down the Smiley Face Killer?
Like, is there like a legal precedence that would allow us to do it besides a bounty hunter?
No, I mean, I guess if you were like a private investigator, but I mean, technically, we'd just be vigilantes at that point.
And that's like illegal, though, right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
To an
It's not
extent.
really illegal if. But I'm saying like bait this mofo, like go downtown, like
Sniff
pretend to
him
be
out.
drunk, walking around.
Like Bruce Wayne at.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Robert Pattinson / Christian Bale style.
yeah, yeah,
Dress like the area. Be in plain sight.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Camouflaged by
Camouflage.
being part of the scenery. But then I just pack in my 9, and when I get in the car,
I'll have my homemade boomerangs too. Just
yeah,
in
you
case.
gotta.
Just in case your 9, you unload it and there's nothing left. We got the boomerangs to take his legs out.
While he's driving a car.
Well, yeah. All right, we'll like get like stainless steel or aluminum. We'll get aluminum
Okay.
and we'll sharpen it so it's like a
So
knife, and then we
throw
can
it at
blow
the
his
tires.
tires out. We'll take out people's fucking leg. It'll be like an episode of The Boys. You know, where the superheroes and everybody just there's all this collateral damage and it's just disgusting and terrible what happens. People
See, I'm thinking more like
get blown off, and
Indiana Jones.
that's what I would. That's the route I would like to go instead of The Boys, because that's the most disturbing show. Like, who comes up with the idea to just jump in a dude's peen? You know what I mean? Like,
It's a comic book. I mean, look at
a comic book that got disowned. Like, it got bought. Like, I think DC bought it, and then they're like, "No, get the fuck out of here. You're on your own." And then they
what about
went on their
Dr.
own.
Manhattan or Mr. Manhattan? He always is dingling hanging out all the time.
Well, that's as far as they wanted to go with that. They once they showed the episode of jumping in the peen, they were out. DC's like, no, we're not dick comics, we're detective comics.
You know, I don't get there's something weird with Hollywood and dicks. Just nudity in general. There's a lot of good stories that can be told without any of the dicks or boobs or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays it doesn't even matter because it's oh, boob, whoop-de frickin' do. I can see a boob whenever I want, with the click of a mouse. So it really doesn't have the shock factor that it used to, seeing nudity in something. So it really doesn't even need to be there half the time. Look at Westworld or
Westworld's a bad example, dude. That's just
or
that movie.
Euphoria.
That show has nudity in it. Yeah, Euphoria is weird.
Weird. Yeah, I never watched it, but I heard it was just weird ass shit, and it's probably dumb.
Oh, dude,
And then-
it was fucked. It's fucked up, that show, Euphoria. Yeah. The things those people were going through, I mean, they really get in the head of our generation,
Mhm.
and it's kind of fucked up, because that's what it takes. I think it takes place out of pretty much our generation. So it would be the late 90s, early 2000s sort of deal.
Okay.
In high school. Or no, maybe it's a little
Yeah.
later, yeah, because I think they had social media. Yeah, no, it's a little later. Never mind. I'm thinking of something completely different. But no, I am thinking of Euphoria, though, because it's I think the girl from Spider-Man that plays in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Which
she's
people and I find her to be the most annoying person ever.
yeah. Well, she plays an autistic girl. I think that lost her dad.
Is just normally autistic in life.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, she plays this autistic girl that gets into drugs real bad, and I think she lost her father too. I'd have to check back, but yeah, it's real fucked up. What she constantly up and down, in and out of rehab, relapsing, and meets some fucked up people, and then the people that she's surrounded and engages with in high school, there's a whole nother fucking story there too. So
Lovely.
It's kind of reminds me of that movie with James Van Der Beek. Not Cruel Intentions.
Varsity Blues?
No, not Varsity Blues. No, this one's actually, it's like an unsaid spin-off of American Psycho. I can't think of the name. But yeah, it's about this love triangle, and it's really fucked up what people do, and it's actually a good movie. I just
the vagina monologues.
Yeah, the vagina monologues. Check it out, everybody.
That's what it is.
If I think about it, I'll blurt it out again. But I think I cut you off there. You were about to say something.
No, I was just, I mean, just in general. I mean, so you got all this weird shit, like all this nudity, all the dicks hanging out. Mm-hmm. You know, like look at. So what brought this up is I've been on this South Park kick lately. Like
same here, yeah.
It's on Max, like HBO Max, yeah. And I was like, I'll just throw it on, and like I can't believe how many episodes there are that I haven't seen just like over the years because I didn't really keep up with it. But it's like watching a whole new show, which is fantastic.
26 years of it. And I've only watched like probably 2% of it in my entire life. Yeah, dude. I was just watching it with my wife the other day, dude. Dude, our jaws were dropping all the time, and
I sent you that thing with what's his face, Alec Baldwin, where it's like things that are on his mind.
That episode actually came on the other day too. I just seen that. I knew exactly what you're talking about with the thumbs and the shitter.
Yeah, shitter instead of Twitter.
Yeah, the little things in your head, and the best part is Alec and Cartman are the only users of it.
Yeah, and he's talking about like, getting pussy and shit like that. But then the part where he's like on the plane and he's like, people that bring cats on the plane should be shot.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh damn.
No,
that did not age well.
Who did he say? He's like, he slept with like the Queen of Monaco or something, and he shoved his fist up her ass or something.
Yeah. Or I forgot. He's like, I slept with this one actress, and he's like, he's like, she's got a pussy sandwich that would make the gays even turn straight, or like something like that. I forgot who it was. Like Jennifer Gardner or something. I don't know. But
it's like, who are these two faggots that run this sandwich shop or something like that? And
yeah.
They're like, hey, shut up.
Yeah, Carmen's like, oh, cool. I should try it sometime. LOL.
It wasn't me that was homophobic. It was my thumbs. And so I naturally just cut off my thumbs. But then I found shitter.
Oh,
my
man.
God. Oh, by the way, the movie that I was talking about is called Rules of Attraction. And it's a good movie, but it's a fucked up movie, man. And
did it show wieners in it?
I don't think they show wieners in it, but they definitely show the boobs.
Better not.
But no, there is this part where James Van Der Beek talks to somebody on the phone, and it's the rumor is it's Patrick Bateman, his brother. Yeah, that's why I think it's a good movie to check out, because not a lot of people know that the same guy that did American Psycho did this movie. And yeah, his name was Sean Bateman in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right. But
yeah, HBO just so getting back to my point, I'm watching South Park.
Yeah.
And they're doing this the Black Friday thing where they're trying to get the video game consoles, and there's guys that want to get PS4, and there's people that want the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like Game of Thrones. So like Butters, like Cartman is making Butters watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you got to tell me what's going on, Butters, and this and that. He's like, I don't know what's going on. All I see is a bunch of wieners all over the screen all the time. He's like, there's supposed to be dragons, then all of a sudden there's just wieners. To myself, it's true. Like, I'm sitting here trying to watch this, like, I want dragons, and I want it to be like Lord of the Rings, and then then all of a sudden, there's just wieners all over the place. I don't want to see that shit.
Oh my god. No, there was this episode I was seeing the other day, and it was so Cartman's showing everybody at the bus stop. He's like, "Hey guys, look how gay Butters is." He's like, "Look, his penis is in my mouth," or he's like, "His wiener's in my mouth," and he's like, "They're like, dude, Cartman, you're the gay one." He's like, "What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm the gay one?" They're like, "Dude, his wiener's in your mouth." He's like,
Right.
"So?" And then,
like, the only way to make you go back is to put his wiener in your mouth.
The best part is always at the right moment, fucking Butters' dad busts in, and
Yeah.
he's blindfolded. He has no idea this is about to happen, and here's Cartman just fucking, shoving his cock out there, and then he runs away. That was the best part. But then the fucking episode gets strange when they send Butters to the Bible camp, and everybody is constantly killing themselves because of the brutal camp it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's take a look in this room, and there's just a dude hanging from the fucking.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna close this door right now. This will be your accountability, buddy.
Yeah, your accountability. It's so messed up. But yeah, there's too many wieners on HBO.
Oh, dude.
Whoever's in charge loves wieners. They're like, does this show have any wieners in it? And they're like, no, we're not going to back this. Does your show have wieners? Yeah. Oh, we'll give you some money. Oh, tell me more about the wieners.
South Park. Oh yeah, we have plenty of wiener going on in our.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or like, I think the most ridiculous wiener shot that I've ever seen was on Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like sitting there like on the floor talking on the phone in front of a bed in a hotel room, and some dude walks by and it's like a dick, like fills the whole screen. He's like, "Hey, Dewey, you want any coffee?" And he's like, No, I'm good. And it's like the most unexpected thing ever, but it's just like a dick, like right there.
You're forgetting another one that had a lot of dick in it.
What?
The Greasy Strangler.
Oh well, yeah, but the
they were all like fake props though. Like
this was like a man's penis, like filling the entire movie screen.
Yeah,
and this out of nowhere. Because he just walks in front of the camera and there's just a dick. And he's like, you're so interested in what Dewey Cox is talking about on the phone.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden just a dick. And you're like, wait a second.
Wait a second. That's hilarious.
You don't want any of this shit. Oh.
Yeah. Fucking, did you see the Scientology episode of South Park?
No.
All right, I think that's season 9, episode 13 or something. And
I skipped around.
You gotta watch that one because I wish I saw that when it came out back in the day because I think they caused a lot of shit with Scientology. Chef quit over it. The guy that played Chef, he quit over that episode. And some people, well, I guess he had a stroke back then. And some people think Scientology wrote the letter and said he's done, but wrote it in his name. Who knows? But he quit over the episode. But they actually got information that like not many people in Scientology actually fucking know. like if me and you signed up for it, tomorrow. We would not be told this knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we asked about it, we'd probably get beaten or some shit because that's how they are, But, like, yeah, you got to be, like, Tom Cruise level. You got to be Tom Cruise, literally, to know that shit. And
I'm surprised that Tom Cruise isn't the leader of Scientology.
Well, he's not yet. I don't know. I don't know that whole deal. I mean, it's that David Miscavige guy. He runs everything, and I don't
I
know.
mean, it's a cult, right? I mean, it's just a big cult.
Yeah, you know, there's this dude.
Isn't it that they believe that like you don't die, that your body goes up to like some spaceship in the sky and stuff?
It might be the Mormons. They explain. Well, how they explain it is there's this god named Xenu. Here we go, dude. We're never gonna get fans here because we're gonna be talking about Scientology and they're gonna excommunicate. They're gonna
serial killers and silent Scientology. Let's do this.
All right. So they, I guess. So what South Park put out is true, and they put a disclaimer. This is what they actually believe. But apparently, there's this dude named Xenu. He's this evil spirit that enslaves the galaxy, like almost like Thanos. All right.
Okay.
So basically, Xenu, I don't know, sent a bunch of these souls to fucking Earth or whatever. They were all frozen and sent them into a volcano where their souls actually inhibited all the humans on Earth. And yeah, something like basically we're all in a fight against Xenu. I don't know.
Okay.
It's fucking weird. But that's ultimately what they believe is just like, yeah, like there's evil spirits there's evil energies that fill you. And that's why they have to do those audits where they sit in a room and they hold these little fucking e-meters or whatever they're called. And it's all this bullshit. It rates all this bullshit that they're telling you that they have this machine that rates your feelings and your energy, and they know if you're depressed and all this shit, and if the more depressed you are, the more fucking e-readings you do, but you have to pay for all those and shit like that. So it's this huge money-making scheme, you know. But there's this guy, I think his name's Brett Weinstein or something like that. He's some kind of fucking activist teacher that I forget exactly who he is. Something fucked up happened at his college. He got fired for it. But he's a very intelligent guy, and he was asked once what he thought about Scientology, if it was a cult or if it was an actual religion. Well, he does say that Christianity, you can kind of look at it the same way when it started out. Like, they were killing people. you know, if anything, it was a little bit more violent with Christianity and getting followers and stuff like that, and, you know, very harsh punishments for going against the Bible. But he says it survived because it had something of value to people. People found value in it, and that's why it has survived, you know, this many years. And so what he's saying is that Scientology is at in such its infancy that maybe there is a value, maybe there isn't. We don't know. It's kind of, he's like, it's easy to call it a cult, but, you know, this is something that needs time.
Yeah.
There might be a day that, yeah, there is a great awakening and everybody fucking, yeah, they put down the Scientology books and they burn them, and, you know, and then all of a sudden they start suing Scientology. I don't know. But, dude.
Or we might have to go fight Xeno.
We might have to fight Xeno, yeah.
I mean,
all of a sudden, like, all of our transmissions get hijacked. I'm Xenu. I'm going to take your souls. I own the galaxy. I don't know.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. Right. But it's, like, scary because, I mean, like, there's a lot of people involved with Scientology, and, like, people fall for it. And, like, they hunker down on confused people that are, you know, confused with their fucking religion, confused with themselves, you know, all kinds of ways, you know. But South Park, the way they portray it, it's like almost to a T, like how it would happen. Like, you would just be walking and you would just be walking by a strip mall and someone would be like, hey, you want to take this free personality test? And then all of a sudden you're in Scientology, you know. It's crazy, but yeah, it's that and the Jehovah Witnesses that scare the fuck out of you, dude. You know, it's just like they both like they're similar religions. Where
Yeah.
I think Jehovah's Witnesses believe Armageddon is upon us every day, and they have to free souls and be ready for the rapture and shit like that. So basically, I think they give their life. That's basically their deal, and so that's why they knock on your fucking door and try to
ask you if you want to learn about Jesus.
Yeah, about Jeebus.
Bejesus.
Baby Bejesus. So
I don't know. Too much weird shit.
I know. All right.
Well, let's get down to business here.
All right.
Let's talk about some Mando.
Mando Mercs?
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. Do you just want to start this last episode? Because there's a lot. There's just a lot to Mando right now. I think this last episode is probably the more important one. Kind of probably.
Instead of talking about the last episode, I want to talk about the next episode.
Okay.
So we'll start with just something that leads us to this. So the title of the last episode was The Spies.
Yes. And that's...
Meaning somebody's a spy.
And who could it be?
Or multiple people are spies.
Well, we already know who the one spy is. Because it starts off
maybe.
No, Kane. She's a spy. She's...
Oh, yeah. Fuck
she's
that lady.
Got the amnesty, and she's working within the New Republic, and she's feeding info to Moth. So we know she's a spy, okay? And you're right. The title, The Spies. So I believe it's plural. Like, there are two spies. So she's number one. They tell you right there in the beginning, she's number one. So now the question is, who's number two? Mm-hmm. Or is there a 3 and 4?
Who does number 2 work for? That's right. You tell that turd. You tell that turd who's boss. Who does number 2 work for?
Good old Austin Powers.
You got to relax, man. You'll blow out an O-ring.
Okay. So we know, like, the most obvious suspect
is the armor.
Right. All right. Yes. She's got no backstory.
Nope.
She's a religious fanatic.
Yes.
But she also has the ability to forge armor. And now here's the next question is she has the spikes that we don't know if like you said you were saying the other day, like she could be like a moth or a Maul, type person.
I think
I'm sorry, what?
Zarkads. I think they're called like Zakdars or Zarkads or something with a Z is their species. The Maul species.
Yeah.
And they have those little horns.
Right. So it's either that or she pays homage to Darth Maul. And she's part of that group that was in Rebels, or was it in Clone Wars? Rebels.
Rebel, yeah.
They were all like all followers and loyalists to Darth Maul. And what do they call him? The Maul man, or they had some weird Mandalorian name for him with Maul's name in there. But yeah, you know what I also thought was kind of cool though about the armor? I was thinking about it. So Boba Fett was a mystery character, right? When he first came out, no one knew about him, and they never developed his story. And like now, all of a sudden, they've developed his story, right? And Mandalorians are part of that. And I think it's kind of interesting that the armor, all this time in these 3 seasons, has kind of played that same role. Doesn't have too many lines, but is a complete fucking mystery. So like that's where, I don't know. I suspect it's definitely I suspect it's her. But like, dude, too many people are suspecting her, and I always feel like, fucking Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they always got this way where everybody's talking about one thing, but they mean another thing, and then it fucking hits you, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't even think about that. So,
I mean, if it's not her, there's only one other person that I could think, and it's ex-Woves.
Same here. Yeah.
Okay. Because my guess... So remember when they went to, that dude, that X-Wing pilot guy found that ship floating, and he's like, oh, that's Beskar armor, and that from who captured or freed Gideon. So maybe he is working for him, and that's because they always, you amass this big, fleet of ships and all this, and where are you getting those ships? You got them from Mandalore. Half of those are Mandalorian fighters,
right?
And this whole all these people.
But I thought Bo-Katan was stealing this shit before, and then and then when she lost the saber, they all went and privateered with that fleet, because I thought she already had something. Because I thought she had told Din Djarin that she's building a fleet, and so this was another one. They were stealing that Imperial cruiser, and she's like, "This is another one we're adding." But I don't remember seeing, or did they steal the New Republic Star Cruiser, or the Old Republic? Sorry.
Well, I think they took it after Luke Skywalker got off. That was the one that they were.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Okay. So, I don't know. I don't know. It could be anybody at this point. The armor just, I don't like her vibe. So that's why I'm thinking it's her. Because, there's all that secrecy. You can take off your helmet because you need to bring us together. And then she brings them all together, and then they all go to Mandalore and get trapped or, get ambushed.
Right. That makes sense. I mean,
I don't know.
But the next question is, does Moff Gideon have some way to communicate, though? Is he hanging out on Mandalore, or did he just go to Mandalore because he...
No, I think they were there. I mean, they had that whole, all those TIE fighters and shit.
Well, no. Oh, right, yeah. So, yeah, he's communicating with people. So we see that. So we're going to learn how he does that, definitely. But, yeah, I definitely am with you, though, on the ex-Wolves thing. Because another thing I just thought was weird was, how the fuck was he going to get a message to the fleet if there wasn't another ship on the ground? They all flew in Bo-Katan's cruiser. So, and the armorer took that back to Mandalore. Or, I mean, to the fleet. Sorry. So, there would be no way to get a message out. It's almost like he just ditched out of the fight right away. But here, I want to throw a wrench here. And I want you to kind of think outside the box. What about Paz Vizsla? I know he's a man of honor and shit, but it is interesting how he decided to just sacrifice his life when he really didn't need to. But maybe they would have caught up if he started backing in and went through that hole or something. I don't know. But
I don't think so.
It's kind of interesting. But, it's kind of interesting that he did that. Then the other thing I thought was, that's the first time he ever saw Mandalore. And I don't know, don't those Mandalorians have an idea of dying in battle as a glorious thing? Kind of like the Klingons in Star Trek?
Probably, yeah.
So maybe that's what it was too. Was just glory of dying for Mandalore. I don't know, but those Praetorian guards fucked them up, man.
Yeah, I want to make that armor now. They have a fucking staff.
Homage armor.
Yeah.
And
no. I want to make up the Praetorian guards.
Oh,
those are badass.
I thought the commandos are pretty badass too, but
Yeah, they're pretty
that's
badass.
that's my question. Are those clones or what? Because like, dude, they showed clone vats when he walked into that meeting.
I know that was weird.
That was weird.
Unless
And,
those are Jedi people.
or it's the doctor. Just they're keeping. I don't know. Because I know they did that thing with his mind. So I know, so I felt like he was lying when he said, like, at the moment we don't have this research.
Hmm.
But I think that's bullshit because they did that crazy mind thing to him, and I think she downloaded his thoughts or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they have it. But yeah, he's a sick son of a bitch, that Moff Gideon.
So this is all leading up to or like putting pieces of the puzzle together for the last, not the next episode, but the last 3 movies.
Yeah.
So remember the guy Hux was the leader. I forgot what his first name was. Hux was like the redheaded, like snotty kid that was on the Empire for the first Order.
Oh,
He was like
gotcha.
the leader. There was like Snoke, Kylo Ren, and then Hux.
Yeah.
General Hux or whatever.
Yeah, that weird Irish actor.
British.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch in this last episode of The Mandalorian, the 2 guys that Gideon's talking to, that they're going back and forth, Brendel Hux, which is General Hux's father, is one of the guys that he's talking to, and he like ends up running. It's like this shadow operation or so Operation
Right.
Shadow or whatever.
Yeah.
And he is like in charge of that shit.
Interesting.
So, and that's his dad, which then he becomes
right.
a general and whatever.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of ruining it because I wish they would have just gotten rid of that last 3 movies, but I guess they got to tie it all in together with all that bullshit.
Oh, well, apparently Kathleen Kennedy has already spoken out against the fans. I don't know how this lady still has her freaking job, but she's publicly announced that they're trying to get away from the George Lucas idea of things. Like they don't want to do it the George Lucas way. They want to do it a new way. And that's what those 3 movies was the new way,
And everybody hated them.
Right. And it's kind of interesting. Star Wars Theory just brought out a video. He was talking about the opening crawl, where they tell you the story. And people were getting upset that it's not in like other Star Wars things. And I don't know. He made a good point, was just like he thinks it's a Skywalker saga thing. Like he believes the saga ended in Return of the Jedi. So he doesn't necessarily count, the ones with Rey in the First Order. Because dude, they could have done so much more with Luke Skywalker, and it just it's just kind of weird at the end of the last one. Like, she just puts the lightsabers away. They're both fucking dead. Well, I mean, Carrie Fisher died, so they had to write it that way,
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, I feel like there could have been better stories with... I think Lucas had some better fucking stories, and I don't know. Maybe they'll do the redo card. Like, I mean, DC does that shit all the time, so...
I think we need to get a petition going to get Kathleen Kennedy fired and put either Dave Filoni or Filoni, or what's his face,
Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau in her position, because she's just a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah,
that nobody likes.
My understanding is, though, they took a lot of creative power from her, and they gave it to Favreau and Filoni. So
yes, but they need to take all the power from her.
Well, and this guy Mike Zero, he's like a Kathleen Kennedy like troll or something. I mean, he talks about Star Wars, but a lot of his episodes are bad mouthing her, and it gets ridiculous. But like, he does say it's like a process they've been working on. I guess you can't just remove her overnight. Like, you got to slowly take power away before you can actually take them out of the power. I don't know, dude. But the hope is, yeah, Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni will run the studio. I think it would probably be Filoni. He's George Lucas's like apprentice.
Yes.
So
it's like Darth Vader, and George Lucas is like Palpatine.
Or Lucas is like Qui-Gon and
No. You're going straight evil with this one.
Yeah, I guess you are. Did you see that TikTok I sent you with Harrison Ford and George Lucas talking about Boba Fett? I don't even know if that's real or not, but
it's not.
It's fucking hilarious though. Baba. No,
those
Boba.
deep fakes are getting crazy.
They are, dude. Oh, there was another thing I saw on TikTok. Apparently, this AI robot that they were selling for a logistics, fair. Like, it was taking things off a shelf and putting them on a conveyor and just going back and forth. Apparently, it committed suicide. They found in the code. Really? Didn't want to do the job that it was doing and terminated its service.
So it rewrote its own code and just shut itself down.
At least it shut itself down and didn't start throwing fucking boxes at people and then ripping their faces off. But yeah. No, I mean, like, dude, South Park, they were making fun of the Chat GPT thing, and like that's what's gonna start. Like, I'm sure like teachers are starting to deal with this now, like slowly, and it's gonna be crazy here in the next year or so. And like, then they're gonna have to build an AI to detect AI writing. Like, that's crazy, dude.
Well, because I mean, can't it write like a whole essay in like 2 minutes?
Yeah, it can write an essay, it can write a story. Well, the whole thing with it is they were using it to mac on with the ladies. So like, they would just type in whatever their girl was sending them, and then the response would come out. And then they found out that like the chat was just telling the most ridiculous stories, and they weren't even paying attention when they would send it to the girls. And then like Wendy was confronting Stan about like a ski accident he had in like some other fucking country, and Stan's like, "What? Oh yeah, sure, yeah." He's like trying to slowly look at his phone to like catch up.
Yeah, man, shit's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this next Mandalorian.
Could be the last.
It could be. I don't know if they're gonna kill Din Djarin, but like that would, if it's kind of like, he's the lone cowboy. If this is like kind of like a western, this might be the end for him. But like, I don't know, dude. Like, they wouldn't do that and then just kill him, right? Like, you don't just like capture somebody like that and say, "Oh, throw him in the debriefing room," and then just kill him off. I feel like, I mean, they could do it to where like they fucking get there at the last second and he's dead, but I don't know. They better not do anything to Grogu. I swear to God, I will protest Star Wars for the rest of my life if they do.
I don't think they can.
There's too much money behind them. Yeah,
there's too much money in that stupid green person.
Well, if Kathleen Kennedy's running shit and she wants to get back at people trying to fire her, we're going to get rid of Grogu.
Yeah, she probably still calls him Baby Yoda. She's a bitch.
Yeah. All right, that's it for tonight, everybody. As always, make sure you're sharing, following. Coming soon, we'll have a website that we'll be announcing to you very shortly, where you can leave comments there. You can find all of our content, and I'm excited for that. I hope you are too, Jared. It's the next step in our podcast life.
Yeah, and leave some comments for us. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the next Mando, and let us know what conspiracy theories you want us to talk about in our next episode.
Yeah, I want to do some research, guys, and I want to talk. I want to have a discussion. So, yeah, hit us up with comments, but, yeah, go masturbate.
Yeah. You can leave now and beat traffic, or you can stay here and beat your mate.
The choice is yours.
Yeah.
That's our show. Please make sure to subscribe to catch all the latest episodes of Tell It Right podcast. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.